Alright guys, Bitcoin has been trading sideways for the past day, but the next move could really wreck a lot of people. Let me show you exactly what's going on. So Bitcoin is still holding above the trendline support we talked about in the previous video. If you remember, Bitcoin got rejected from our liquidity level above 79,000 US dollars and it dropped below and hit the value area high almost exactly to the dollar. And that is where I took some profits off the table on both my Bitcoin short and also on my Solana short, which I entered after that rejection. I'm still in both of those trades right now, but I did move the stop loss to break even and I'll tell you exactly why in a second. So as we said in the previous video, the major trend line on the log scale was the level Bitcoin had to hold if it wanted to stay bullish and potentially see slightly higher targets once again. And what happened is Bitcoin hit the value area high and nearly tagged the trend line and then bounced. So right now, Bitcoin is still trading above that trend line. And in my opinion, until that level is broken below, Bitcoin can still go a little higher from here. And the first level I'm watching to the upside is this liquidity level at the recent high at around 79.5 thousand US dollars. And if we open up the liquidation heat map on the 3-day chart, what you're going to see is that exactly above this recent high, there is a bunch of liquidations stacked up, just waiting to get grabbed. And if we zoom out a little to the 1-week chart, you're going to see that the biggest liquidation level on this entire chart is also sitting right above the recent high, with nearly 180 million in short liquidations. And if we zoom out a little further to the 2-week chart, sure, there are some liquidations below as well, but the biggest cluster is sitting again right above the recent high. And if you look right here at the previous run-up, this is exactly what happened. The most liquidations were stacked above the previous high and the recent high went in and swept all of them. So in my opinion, the same scenario is very likely to play out again. Now let me show you something else. In the short term, Bitcoin is trading in this rising wedge right here. And as you know, the rising wedge is a slightly more bearish pattern with a higher probability of breaking to the downside. But if Bitcoin does hit the top of this pattern one more time, it would sweep a lot of shorts above before potentially breaking to the downside, and that would wreck even more people. And here's the really interesting part. If you remember from the previous video, we talked about how Bitcoin has been trading in this ascending channel for the past few months. And what you're going to see is that Bitcoin is currently trading very close to the top of that channel. It even came very close to it with the recent high. But here is the key, the top of that ascending channel lines up almost perfectly with the top of the rising wedge and the liquidity level above the recent high. So if Bitcoin does push higher and sweep that liquidity, it would also hit the top of the rising wedge and the top of the major ascending channel that Bitcoin has been very well respecting for so long. So you have 3 major levels lining up at the same area, and that is exactly where I would be looking to fire a brand new short position if Bitcoin gets there. And if we pull up the RSI on the 2-hour time frame, what you're going to see is that the indicator is pushing lower while price is holding up. So we have higher lows on Bitcoin and lower lows on the RSI. That is a bullish divergence. And if we zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, the exact same thing. The RSI is pushing lower while Bitcoin is holding up. So Bitcoin could very well go and sweep that liquidity from up here. And before I continue with another Bitcoin scenario, I would really appreciate it if you guys are finding this helpful to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Alright, let's get back to the video. But there is also one level slightly lower that hasn't been hit just yet. If we take the fib retracement and drag it from this low for the entire push up to the top, what you're going to see is that the golden pocket sits right around 69.5 thousand US dollars. So Bitcoin could very well come down and hit that level first before pushing higher for the top of the rising wedge, the top of the ascending channel and that liquidity above. But of course, if both the golden pocket and the log scale trendline break to the downside, that would be a very bearish sign. And that would likely mean our shorts absolutely printing. And that is exactly why I haven't exited them fully just yet. So that's where we are. Bitcoin still holding above the trendline, shorts in profit and risk-free. And waiting to see if Bitcoin sweeps the liquidity above or breaks down to the golden pocket first. As always, this is not financial advice and manage your risk. Let me know in the comments what you guys think and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.